Last week, the NYSED officers came to Tarrytown and held a roundtable discussion with all the local area presidents. It was a great discussion, lasted for about 2 hours and 15 minutes, and many topics were discussed. However, two were particularly important and the most discussed topics, and I'd like to share those today because I think that they would be of interest to a lot of our members. The first was APPR. As you may have heard, SED has announced that they are going to release a new APPR in 2019. NYSED is taking the position that that APPR should be totally locally controlled, no state mandates, which means no testing. Right now, we have the moratorium on grades 3 through 8 testing until 2020. NYSED is asking that the new APPR system, which then we will have to negotiate in 2019, include no mandate for state testing, meaning we could go back to our old system if we'd like and negotiate whatever we want in an APPR system. This means local control would be fully returned and we would only include state tests if we wanted to, which of course we wouldn't. The one thing I would ask is keep an eye out for those MAC blasts. NYSED will need our support in this endeavor, and hopefully we can get APPR returned to local control and get rid of state testing in our evaluations. The second topic that came up was teacher pay. As you know, teacher pay has stagnated for the last decade in New York State. The reason for this is the tax cap. NYSED was very clear that the tax cap is impacting any local's ability to get raises. And it makes sense when you think about it. The way to give raises to generate more income. How does a district generate income? Taxes. So I would say this, if you'd like to see raises, and this was a conversation amongst every area president, so it's not like someone in the county is getting money and we're not. No one's getting money. Teacher salaries have been stagnant for nearly a decade. So I would contact legislators, contact our governor, who was the brilliant brain trust behind this terrible tax cap. Let them know how it's impacting your family. Let them know that it's hurting your ability to get a raise. If we can eliminate the tax cap, we can get raises. With that tax cap in place, we're going to continue to see salaries stagnated as they have been for the last decade. The one thing I will add is the governor has already proposed his 2018-19 budget, and it does not mention the tax cap. So right now, the elimination of the tax cap is not on anyone's radar. So please contact your legislators and let them know the tax cap is hurting your family. One last bit of news that also came out of the roundtable with the NYSED officers, which I think was discussed in many of the building meetings over the last couple of weeks, was the bills for 5525 in both the Senate and Assembly. Basically what NYSED said is, that's Fantasy Island, they're not happening. However, if you'd still like to contact your legislators, the Senate bill is S5640 and the Assembly bill is A7354. So again, NYSED doesn't have much hope, but it's always worth a shot. Now, one thing I'm going to start adding to the bulletins, and this week we'll start with it, is a survey question. It'll help us develop talking points as well as set the course for the MTA stance on certain issues. This week's is ripped right out of the headlines. Please go into the description, click on the link, and take our survey, which is this question. Do you think that teachers should be armed as part of school safety protocol? This will, like I said, help us develop a talking point and a platform, and we'll have various survey questions over the coming weeks that will do the same. Finally, this week, a few tidbits. Monday, blackout. Wear black. The Supreme Court will be hearing the Janus case, and in solidarity with public sector unions across the country, we will be participating in a blackout for union members. So don't forget your black on Monday. Also, congratulations to Diane Lapis on the publishing of her new book. I will put a link in the description to the Mahopac News article that talked about the publishing of that book. And lastly, don't forget, March 1st is the deadline to submit your credits for salary advancement. Have a great weekend, everybody.